Alright, what's going on guys? So over the past few weeks we've been trying to go through the Elden Ring gameplay trailer and decipher as much as humanly possible about what's going on in this game. We've done video after video breaking down almost every pixel of this trailer to see just how much we can predict and uncover before the game comes out. Now, I highly recommend checking out those videos before you watch this one, so if you haven't yet, be sure to go watch those, because I'm going to be cross-referencing with those quite a bit in this video. Because today we're going to be taking a look at all the unanswered questions that we have about the Elden Ring trailer, both on the lore and gameplay side of things. But as always, before we get started guys, I know only about 5% of you guys that watch my content are actually subscribed to the channel, so if you don't mind, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the latest Fromsoftware news and for some other cool Souls videos that I think you'll enjoy. Now let's get into the video. So as I said before, we're going to be going through both the lore and gameplay questions that we still have after looking through the trailer this many times. So the first question that I have is, who or what destroyed the lion-bannered castle? So we know from the trailer and from the official Elden Ring post that this castle is the domain of the big multi-armed guy that we see prominently in the trailer, and we know that this place is going to be one of the main 6 legacy dungeons in the game. The tweet that we covered last time says, "A lord clings to his ruined legacy, the ruler of a husk wrung dry by war." So we can assume that the destruction in the castle is the result of the war, but there's some very striking damages on the castle that really pique my interest. For example, look at the front gate of the castle as we enter, and notice the left tower. The damage that we see there isn't some random breaking or impact point, it almost resembles claw marks in a way. We can clearly see that the edges of the damage are singed by fire. So at a first glance, this looks like the damage of a great dragon. But there's a few other signs that make that idea not sit right for me. So if we assume that this was a slash by a big claw, then why do the markings go to the interior towers, but start their path on the outer towers at such a fine point? I'm not sure. But what else is interesting is that if we follow the path of the damage, it leads straight back up to the Erd Tree, almost as if it was some projectile that came from the Erd Tree and struck the castle at that angle. So that makes a little bit more sense to me than some giant dragon doing all this damage. Although we do see plenty of dragons throughout the trailer. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next one. The next question I have is about PvP. So if you guys have been keeping up with the channel, you know one of the main aspects of Elden Ring that I'm really excited about is this new spirit system. Almost like Pokemon, where we're going to be able to take creatures found throughout Elden Ring and level them up and use them as partners to help in boss fights and other situations. Although it has been confirmed that these are going to be restricted to certain locations around the map, and the same is true about PvP and invasions. We know Fromsoftware is going for a more streamlined form of PvP, where if you are invading someone, it's not going to be a constant chase like it used to be in Dark Souls. So the question is, are all these new awesome gameplay aspects of Elden Ring going to be viable in PvP, and are we going to be able to use them? Such as the spirits and the reduced fall damage and the jumping and all the new skills and everything. Because as of right now, we have very minimal information about how invasions are going to work. I sincerely hope that we're going to be able to take advantage of all these new things and create a very new and fresh PvP experience. So hopefully some new information about that comes out soon. My next question goes back to the lore side of things, and it's a fairly straightforward one. Who is this in the painting? We don't really get a very clear shot, and the painting is dark enough to where we can't see very fine details. However, we do have a few hints as to who this might be. Personally, I'm inclined to believe that this is the guy that we see in the 2019 trailer, simply because when I scaled this up into 4K, the faces seem very similar. Also, the dimensions of the arms and the legs compared to the head of the character in the painting do seem to line up, but there also are some notable differences. For example, the character in the painting is wearing a clearly different armor set, and he's also missing the helmet. Now if we look at the painting, he's got this almost white lion carcass strapped over his shoulder. So perhaps the character on the right is a later version of the character in the painting, where he took that white lion carcass and fashioned it into a suit of armor. Since on the right we can see big fangs on the helmet and white fur between the armor joints on the arms. But if this was the same character, this raises some interesting implications. We know that this room is in the lion castle, the domain of the big multi-armed guy. Now if you've been watching the breakdowns, we know that we've been following a leak from a while back that turned out to be true for the most part, that stated that there was a conflict between the characters with white hair and the characters with red hair. So if we are to believe that, then why would the white-haired multi-armed guy have a giant painting of this character in his own castle? I'm not sure, and that one remains unsolved to me. So moving on. The next question is kind of a mix of both lore and gameplay, and the question is, What the heck are these things on the ground during the big dragon fight? It almost looks like some kind of alien thing, kind of like the suction cups on an octopus on the objects in the front, but towards the back it looks like the tendrils that were on Ebritus in Bloodborne. I have really no idea what this could be. It kind of reminds me of coral in a way. And if it is going for the look of coral, then it wouldn't be the first sign of things from the deep sea that we've seen so far. As you guys know from the last video, that face at the bottom of the cave really resembles a jellyfish in my eyes. But either way, we can clearly see the Lovecraftian influence in Elden Ring that wasn't so apparent from the start. But the question is, could this be part of a corpse, or is it part of the environment? And could there be some kind of cosmic aspect that we didn't see in the trailer, waiting for us in the game? But I really have no idea what to make of that. It really seems so out of place, and it completely threw me for a loop when I saw it. So I'm really interested to see what you guys think about that, but we'll go ahead and move on to the final question. Is this game really going to be the best Fromsoftware game of all time? I know that sounds kind of corny, but hear me out. Miyazaki directly stated that this game is the culmination of all the experience they've learned from all the other Souls games, and we can clearly see many of the best aspects of Dark Souls put into this game. We see the depth of exploration. We see the big and bombastic boss fights. We see the many unique builds you can make. We see the gritty medieval and eldritch aesthetic, and we can see the satisfying feedback we get in combat. And my personal favorite, we can already see the deep lore and detailed environmental storytelling. And I know there's that fringe group that were really disappointed with the trailer for whatever reason, notably the graphics, but personally the graphics of this game already look amazing. I definitely think the potential is there for this to be the best Souls game and Fromsoftware game that we've ever gotten, but until it releases, that's going to be an unanswered question. So what do you guys think? Personally, I'm stumped on pretty much all of these, but I really want to hear your thoughts down in the comments. What do you think about these, and what are your unsolved questions about the trailer? I'm really interested to hear them. But that's going to pretty much do it for the video. So if you did enjoy, please leave a like on the video, it really helps out a lot, and be sure to subscribe if you're not already. We're getting so close to 5,000 subscribers, and honestly I can't believe it. The past 2 months have been absolutely insane for the channel, and I have a really big announcement that I'm extremely excited for coming up in the next video, so I hope you guys can get excited about that too. But that's gonna pretty much do it, and I'll catch you in the next one.